Hey there, so you are getting this video because you listed a barrier as I bit off a little bit more than I could chew. So maybe the routine that we decided to go down or you decided to go down might have been a little bit too much too fast. And so there's really two ways to think about it. And I like to use this terminology. It's either A, grow yourself, or shrink the challenge. So imagine that a barrier was an actual barrier, something that you had to step across to continue moving forward. So in that case, if we can make ourselves bigger, or if we can make the challenge smaller, then we'll be able to step over that barrier. So when I talk about making yourself bigger, it's, what can I tell myself to basically make sure that I can stick with my plans? What can I do to boost my motivation? And that's a little bit of a separate topic. What we'll focus more on is how can we make the barrier smaller. So if you felt like you bit off more than you can chew, all that means is we gained some information that we did a little bit too much, too fast. And that's gonna be a really common thing. And I think a lot of people struggle with trying to go from 0 to 100 far too quickly. So what we do is, let's say that we said we wanted to do strength training 3 times per week and we wanted to do that for 30 minutes. And that felt a little bit too overwhelming. That's okay. At some point in the future that might not feel as overwhelming, but right now, let's just shrink that challenge. So let's cut it down. We always want to find something that we say, we're close to 90 to 100% confident that we will be able to do this almost no matter what. So if you felt like you bit off more than you can chew, rather than feeling like, oh, I messed up, all we did was we gained information. So let's backtrack a little bit and say, okay, let's reduce that challenge. Let's make it a little bit easier and reset that goal. For example, again, if we said 3 times per week and we have to move back to 2 times per week, we can reassess that 3 times per week again once you feel like 2 has become really habitual and routine. And you can even think about reframing the goal too. You could say, if we said 3, you might maybe still think 3 would be great, but we could say the goal for me, success for me looks like 2 times per week of doing this. Anything after that is a cherry on top. So if you felt like you bit off more than you can chew, or maybe it was a little bit overwhelming, this is really common. A lot of times people start to do too much too fast. So let's cut back and make that a little bit easier. So we're going to essentially just say, let's shrink the change. Let's make it so that barrier is smaller, so it's easier for us to step over it. Good luck.